Hey guys, 3 business tips in 5 minutes. Tune in, take away, and transfer. We'll see you in a few. Hello, everybody. Jeff Mason, your host of SimpleBiz360 podcast. We are on another installment today of 3 business tips in 5 minutes. Today, we're doing tune in, take away, and transfer. The customer experience, right? That's what we're all about, right? If you want to improve the results of your business, prove the how you do business. So, first things first, let's have this this attitude of tuning in wherever you are, whatever you're engaged in. We really encourage you to become a transactional sponge, right? Whether it's your business that you're working on, or you're just in a store, or or on the phone with another company, be a transactional sponge. What are you actually listening to, seeing, absorbing, and filtering? Is there anything there that looks like you could learn a lesson from, good or bad, right? And then travel with a notepad. If you're out and about, have a notepad in the car so you can write some of these ideas and these inclinations and these discoveries. You can write it down when it's fresh on the top of your mind so you don't forget it. And then, then the takeaway, right? What's the takeaway? Is there anything from this experience that we can plug into our own businesses that have similar mechanics to it? Now, give you a perfect example, and I've used this before. Let's take a look at the restaurant business. Was in a restaurant. Young lady comes up with 2 women. She goes to seat these women at an elevated booth, and this woman's walks with a cane. She's got a hitch in her walk. And this young lady says, okay, here's your seat right here. And the woman with the cane says, hey, I'm sorry, I can't get my hip up there. Is there any way we could sit at this foretop that's on level ground, that's empty? The young lady responds by saying, no, I'm sorry, I can't seat anybody there for 30 minutes. Wrong answer. That's just terrible. Or how about the other day, my wife and I go into a restaurant, right? Summer day, beautiful foretop, with the sun pouring in through a window, or there's another foretop in the back in this real dark, mysterious, like cozy corner, right? Looked great for a February afternoon. But here we are in the middle of July, and there's nobody in the restaurant other than one other couple back there in the cozy corner, and this young lady takes us back to the dark, cozy corner. And I say, hey, you know what? Is there any way that we could sit up at the foretop that's right in the light there? And she, okay, rolls her eyes and takes us over there, unwillingly. And here's my point. I realize restaurants have this equity thing. They want to alternate tables so the wait staff gets a fair amount of tables. But there's got to be another way, because missing in this process is the customer. Why not ask? If I was that restaurant owner, I'd say, sir, would you prefer this table in the light where it's pouring in on you, or you want that, table way back in the corner? And then I would be able to say what I want, right? But we're so the question here and the takeaway is there anything that I'm doing in my business, or we're doing in our businesses, that mirror or mimic or behave or feel like what this lady felt like when she couldn't get another table? She had to swing, basically that young lady said, hey, ma'am, if you're going to eat here today, you better learn how to swing that hip up on that elevated booth. I mean, is that really the message we want to be sending? So again, is there takeaways, lessons learned? Where can we apply it in our businesses? And then it's the art of transferring that lesson learned, understanding our businesses enough, knowing what's going on well enough to look into our mechanics, look into our customer service machinations, and figure out, could I learn a lesson here? Could I prevent one of our customers from feeling like that lady with the cane? All right. So a couple bonuses: management by walking around, management by wandering around, MBWA. Read about it in a Tom Peters book. Basically, it's suggesting you mingle within your business network, get to know your machinations in your company and how things work. And then any changes you make, are you funneling those changes to the company, or are you funneling them to the customer? I say funnel them to the customer, because I get making life easier for your employees and your company, but if you're doing it at the expense of creating a hardship for the customer, wrong answer. Now, we're going to leave you with a tune today that's verbal irony all over the place. Peter, Paul, and Mary started in 1961. They kind of helped re-energize this folk revival, but they did a little poke at rock and roll because they noticed rock and roll was kind of hijacking a little bit of the folk business. So they came out with a song that actually hit number 9 in the charts. I think it was like 68. I dig rock and roll music. And it was kind of poking at mamas and papas, poking at Donovan from the British Invasion, poking fun at the Beatles a little bit. But it really meant the opposite of what the title of the song was. And that's verbal irony. It's, pretty applicable today with the geopolitical atmosphere, wouldn't you say? But enjoy this one. Peter, Paul, and Mary, I dig rock and roll music. We will see you in 168 hours.